If your Qeema Pilau never tastes quite right, then this is why. These onions aren't burnt. They are properly browned, an essential step when making Pilau, and it's where all the colour and flavour will come from.
Butter in your pan, and then straight in with your onions, and then also with your whole spices. These can start releasing their flavour into the onions. We're going to give that a quick mix in, and then we're going to leave these so that they can brown nice and slowly. So we're just going to pop the lid on and leave this on low for a few minutes. Because we've got butter in action, this one's loitering about. And now I've left these to go quite brown because I like my Qeema Pilau to have a really deep brown colour. So even though they might look a little bit burnt, don't freak out. And then straight in with a tablespoon of ginger and garlic paste. Give that a really good stir. Now I'm also adding in a splash of water because I don't want the onions to go any browner. Then I'm going to add in passata, or you give that a quick mix in, and then in with your ground spices. Give them a quick stir, and you're going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of yogurt. Now this will just add a little bit of a tang, and by adding it after you've mixed in the spice, it tends not to split. Make sure that as soon as you put it in, give it a really good mix. And then once that's all combined, I'm using new potatoes. They tend to hold their shape a little bit better. You need to keep these potatoes moving so that they can mix into the masala. Then you're ready for your Qeema. This is my pre-cooked Qeema. If you want to see how I make this, there's a separate video. It's called Qeema Prep. You can also add in your green chilies now too, and then give that a good mix in. Try not to splash it everywhere. Now you can see there's actually quite a lot of moisture in here from the Qeema, so we're just going to let that dry off a little bit, otherwise it will interfere with the proportions of water to rice. Then once your moisture has dried away, add your rice. Now I've had these soaking for about an hour. When you soak the rice, it actually helps it to cook more evenly. Now we're going to gently stir this in. You really need to handle rice carefully. Now I've used 2 of these mugs of rice, so I'm going to add 3.5 mugs of water, so just less than double. Now I use slightly less than double because there is still going to be some water that's released from the potatoes as this cooks. Let it come to a really good boil. Once the water is half gone, you're just going to gently zhuzh the rice a little bit. You can see all of the water just around the edges, and the rice is all poking through here. Pop the lid on and turn the heat down. I'm going to leave this for 15 minutes. Don't lift the lid. And now we're ready to check. You want to scoop up from the bottom of the pan to make sure that's the part that's cooked. If it's still a little bit firm, it'll just need another minute or 2. Just gently loosen from the edges. I'm going to show you a little trick. If they feel a little bit too firm, grab a damp tea towel, pop it over the top, and then pop it back on the heat and leave it for another 5 minutes. The steam will generate from that water that's on the tea towel, and it will just help the rice to finish off cooking.
That deep gold, that's the flavour that was built at the start. Go on, what are you waiting for? Make me proud.